He dominates every battle in the ring, feared for his speed, his power, and the moments he ends fights before the world can blink. Every punch carries intent. Every victory leaves an imprint. But today, we're not looking at him through the lens of the ring. We step beyond the ropes, into the private chapters of Ryan Garcia's life. The mansions built by his success. The high-performance cars that mirror his speed. The net worth that tells a story far bigger than money. Of triumph, risk, and the price of rising so fast. I am delighted to unravel the details in this video, revealing a side of him few ever see. So before we dive in, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell because this journey is just beginning. Ryan Garcia's story begins long before the cameras, the followers, and the flash. Born on August 8, 1998, in Victorville, California, boxing was stitched into his DNA. While most kids were figuring out algebra, he was learning rhythm, how to slip punches, snap jabs, and move with intention. He wasn't just fast. He was fast with purpose. A blur of angles and precision. And when he connected, it didn't feel like a punch. It felt like a moment built to travel the internet. By his teenage years, the hype wasn't manufactured. It followed him. Amateur titles stacked up. Eyes locked in. Expectations rose. And at just 17 years old, Ryan turned professional, instantly separating himself from the pack. Knockouts came early. Highlights came often. His left hook became a signature. Violent, sudden, unforgettable. But the moment that truly announced him to the world arrived in January 2021. Against Olympic gold medalist Luke Campbell, Ryan was dropped for the first time in his career. For a split second, the shine flickered. Then he stood up, reset, and answered in the only language that mattered, ending the fight with a vicious body shot in the 7th round. That night, he didn't just win the WBC interim lightweight title. He proved he had heart behind the hype. From there, the spotlight only intensified. Mega fights followed. A blockbuster clash with Gervonta Davis that broke records. A headline-shaking battle with Devin Haney that sent shockwaves through boxing. Win, lose, or controversy, Ryan Garcia stayed at the center of the sport's biggest moments. Backed by Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, he became boxing's most marketable star. By 2023, his net worth had climbed to an estimated $50 million, fueled by massive purses, including a reported $30 million payday against Davis. But money doesn't buy peace. As the fame grew, so did the pressure. The image soared, while the man behind it faced storms of his own. For Ryan Garcia, the wins didn't stop at the final bell. They spilled into a life most people only see on screens. A world dripping in luxury, precision, and style. Step through the gates of his garage, and the first thing you notice is a symphony of engines, each more impressive than the last. A Lamborghini Aventador SVJ dominates the space. Its V12 growl promising flash and dominance with every turn of the wheel. Beside it, the Ferrari 488 Pista, track-focused and lightning-quick, gleams like a trophy of precision and prestige. A McLaren 720S waits patiently, its sleek curves whispering speed and modernity, while the Porsche 911 GT2 RS stands ready, a street-legal race car built for performance obsession. In contrast, the Rolls-Royce Phantom exudes quiet ultra-luxury, a sanctuary of comfort and success. The Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series, rare and menacing, reminds you of exclusivity and raw engineering, while the Bentley Continental GT blends elegance and grand touring comfort, the perfect balance of style and sophistication. But the real show starts when you step inside his homes. His Porter Ranch mansion, a $3.1 million modern estate perched in the hills north of Los Angeles, feels like a private retreat. An infinity pool stretches towards scenic vistas, while the home theater and in-house gym remind you this is more than luxury, it's preparation. Then there's the crown jewel, his Beverly Hills mansion, purchased in 2025 for $4.2 million. Ultra-modern, sprawling, and fully equipped with smart home technology, it even boasts a custom boxing ring, a daily reminder that behind the wealth, the fighter remains relentless. Expansive living areas, designer finishes, and an exclusive neighborhood with celebrity neighbors mark this home as a symbol of peak success, where opulence meets athletic ambition. Even amidst private jets, yachts, and exotic escapes, one place remains constant: the gym. Speed drills that snap like gunfire, heavy bags absorbing the fury of ambition. Strength sessions that forge more than muscle. They forge resolve. Luxury surrounds him, but discipline drives him. To understand how Ryan Garcia became more than just a flashy fighter, we need to trace the journey from that first punch in a dusty gym to sold-out arenas and viral knockouts. This is where raw talent meets relentless ambition, and where the rise of King Ray truly begins. The story begins in the quiet hum of a gym, long before bright lights or roaring crowds. By his teenage years, that purpose was unmistakable. 15 national amateur titles, over 215 wins, with only 15 losses. Olympic gold? That dream never came. But another spotlight had already begun to call his name. At just 17, he took his first professional step into the ring on June 9, 2016, in Tijuana, Mexico, against Edgar Meza. The crowd buzzed, the lights glared, and with a thunderous TKO, Garcia announced himself not just as a promising prospect, but as a force to be reckoned with. That performance caught the eye of Oscar de la Hoya, and soon Garcia had signed with Golden Boy Promotions. His U.S. debut followed quickly on December 17, 2016, at the Forum, sharing the card with Bernard Hopkins' farewell fight. In front of thousands, he flattened his opponent in the second round, and the world began to notice. Talent alone, however, doesn't make champions. By 2018, he knew he needed guidance. He joined forces with Eddie Reynoso, the architect behind Canelo Alvarez's dominance. Under Reynoso's watchful eye in San Diego, Garcia honed his footwork, tightened his defense, and evolved from flashy prodigy to legitimate contender. The next years built him into a household name. Fans remembered the night of February 14, 2020, Valentine's Day, at the sold-out Honda Center. Ryan faced Francisco Fonseca and ended the fight in just 80 seconds with a vicious left hook that instantly went viral. Social media erupted. He wasn't just a boxer. He was a phenomenon, a hybrid of speed, skill, and charisma that lit up both screens and arenas. Yet, for every rise, there are tests. In January 2021, those tests came in spades. Ryan faced Olympic gold medalist Luke Campbell for the WBC interim lightweight title. In the second round, Garcia hit the canvas for the first time in his professional career. The arena hushed. Doubt lingered. For a moment, the story seemed fragile. But legends aren't made when the world is kind. They're forged in adversity. Garcia rose, collected himself, and in the seventh round, delivered a punishing body shot that folded Campbell. The crowd erupted. That night, he didn't just win a belt. He proved heartbeats louder than hype. Success accelerated from there. Viral knockouts, sold-out arenas, blockbuster bouts. Yet the path was far from smooth. Later in 2021, a fight with Javier Fortuna, a key step toward a showdown with Devin Haney, never happened. Mental health challenges forced Ryan to step back, surrendering his title and enduring a storm of speculation. Was he finished? He wasn't. Nearly 15 months later, he returned against Emmanuel Tego. The rust was evident, but the talent remained. A second-round knockdown and a unanimous decision restored faith. By this time, Garcia had switched trainers, leaving Reynoso for veteran coach Joe Goosen. The reinvention continued, culminating in a spectacular showdown with Javier Fortuna in the super lightweight division. He dominated, dropping Fortuna 3 times before the referee stopped the fight. He wasn't just back. He was sharper, stronger, hungrier. Then came the crucible. April 2023, Gervonta Tank Davis. 2 undefeated stars, 1 epic payday, and the world watching. The fight shook Garcia in ways few could have predicted. Knockdowns in the second and seventh rounds left him reeling. Critics questioned his heart. Some said he quit. Others reminded the world that even heroes are human. The myth of invincibility had ended, But the story wasn't over. In December 2023, he faced Oscar Duarte. With precision and power, he delivered an 8th-round knockout that silenced critics and reminded fans why he remained a threat in the ring. The next test, Devin Haney in April 2024, brought drama outside as well as inside the ropes. Garcia showed up overweight, forfeiting part of his purse. Questions about his focus swirled, but when the bell rang, he let his fists speak. He dropped Haney in the 7th, 10th, and 11th rounds, electrifying the crowd. Though the judges awarded a majority decision, controversy soon followed after he tested positive for Ostarine, leading to the fight being overturned to a no contest, a $1.1 million fine, and a 1-year suspension. As if that weren't enough, the storm intensified in July 2024. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman expelled Garcia after a live stream in which he made disparaging remarks. Sponsors reconsidered partnerships, fans turned, and the organization distanced itself from him. Attempts to guide him through mental health and substance challenges had been rebuffed. But sometimes, the toughest battles aren't fought under bright lights or before roaring crowds. Sometimes, the fight follows you home, creeping into every corner of your life. For Ryan, the glare of fame, the weight of expectation, and the relentless spotlight didn't stop at the ropes. They began to touch family, relationships, and moments meant to be private. His personal life was unraveling in ways no belt could fix. His marriage to Andrea Salina, once a picture of a young family's dream, collapsed by January 2024. 2 children, Bella and Henry, were growing up with a father who was either dazzling crowds or battling shadows few could see. There was also Riley, his daughter from a previous relationship, and while Ryan shared moments of joy online, the smiles often masked deep fractures. Family had always been his anchor. His father molded the fighter in the gym. His mother guided the career behind the scenes. But the weight of fame and expectation began to strain even the strongest bonds. Ryan sought outlets, training in jiu-jitsu, making political statements, backing Donald Trump's 2024 campaign, but his public acts often sparked controversy rather than calm. Social media became a battlefield, with rants targeting celebrities, sports institutions, and communities, shocking even loyal fans. The chaos spilled into the real world. In June, he was arrested after a hotel incident causing $15,000 in damages. By July, his ex-wife accused him of property destruction, threats, and confrontations fueled by alcohol. Headlines painted a man at war with himself, a fighter whose punches outside the ring were aimed at an invisible, relentless opponent, his own turmoil. But even as storms raged at home, Ryan's ambition refused to be contained. The ring was just one stage. His talent, charisma, and drive opened doors to acting, global endorsements, and entrepreneurial ventures. From national commercials with Gatorade to his own fitness and merchandise brands, Ryan Garcia began building a legacy that extended far beyond punches. Fame, fortune, and controversy all collided in the same story, shaping the man, the brand. By 2019, Ryan Garcia wasn't just a rising star in boxing. He was a cultural force. That year, he stepped off the canvas and onto a new stage, playing Sonny Mendoza in the teen web series On the Ropes. Acting demanded a different kind of precision, a new kind of focus, but Ryan approached it with the same intensity he brought to every fight. Then came 2021, the year his crossover appeal became undeniable. Gatorade signed him, not for a small spot, but for history. Ryan became the first American boxer ever featured in a national Gatorade campaign. Screens across NBA arenas, NFL halftime shows, and primetime TV lit up with his face. He wasn't just a boxer anymore. He was a brand. Gymshark, Dior, 1800 Tequila, even luxury watch collaborations followed. Social media posts, merchandise, and influencer deals built a business empire alongside the gloves. Ryan Garcia had turned speed into superstardom, and superstardom into wealth. Each move was a reminder. He was building more than a career. He was building an empire. So once the gloves are hung up and the lights dim, What remains of Ryan Garcia? A fighter? A celebrity? A businessman? Or a man still searching for balance in a world that never stops spinning? Before you go, don't miss your chance to join the inner circle. Click the link in the description to become a channel member and unlock exclusive perks. Suggest future video topics. Get early access to new content 48 hours before anyone else, and so much more. Your support isn't just appreciated, it powers the stories we bring to life. If you love this deep dive, hit that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, and make sure you're subscribed for even more inside looks into boxing's biggest names. And while you're here, check out our full breakdown of Junto Nakatani's journey. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you ringside in the next one.